Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum and very good morning. I am Dr. Javed Iqbal Kokar, Professor of Forensic Medicine and Toxicology, as I am discussing personal identity, and this is the 24th lecture of this series. As from last few lectures, I am discussing parameters of age determination from teeth. And in this lecture, today will be discussing the Boyd method. What is Boyd's method of estimation of age? And contents of the talk will be that how the Boyd method help us in estimation of age and what are the changes in teeth which we study in this method. Now, Boyd method. It is estimation of accurate age by means of counting incremental lines. These are microscopic lines on the teeth, and in cross section and horizontal section and longitudinal section, we study these incremental lines, and by counting their numbers we can find out the number of days of the age of that individual. The cross striations in the enamel of teeth, they represent daily incremental lines, and the age of an individual can be calculated by counting the number of lines starting from the neonatal line onwards. The neonatal lines, which is quite distinct, and it appears at the age of birth, which is because of the stress of birth and changes in the oxygen saturation level, which makes it a quite distinct line. And from that line onwards, we count the number, and the number is equal to the days. And this method is applicable mainly to the infants. More important, the age so calculated is so accurate, but with an error of 20 days. These incremental lines, they appear as cross sections on enamel and daily increments of growth. The rate of their growth is at the rate of 4 micron per day. On cross section, when it is viewed microscopically, they appear as concentric rings like this. And in longitudinal section, they appear as a series of dark bands like this. So the presence of dark lines is similar to the annular rings of a tree. As the tree grows with age and it lays concentric rings, and by counting the number of rings, we can find out the number of years of that tree. Similarly, these lines, which appear as dark line, is similar to those annular rings of a tree. And in longitudinal section of a tooth, these lines appear near the dentine, and they bend obliquely near the cervical region. They curve occlusally near the cuspal regions or the incisor region, and they are produced during the second stage of enamel calcification and also known as maturation stage. The ameloblast, they produce matrix and the enamel at the rate of 4 micron per day. So basically this matrix, these circular lines or striations, it is laid down by the ameloblast at the rate of 4 micron per day. However, every fourth day there is a change in the development, and brownish lines which develop as a result of change in the growth process. So these lines appear every fourth day, and macroscopically these lines can be seen on the labial surface or lip side of anterior and front teeth. They appear as horizontal lines on the tooth crown and also known as imbrication lines. Imbrication lines. Evenly spaced lines indicate a 6 to 11 day cycle of enamel formation. This method is very detailed, very large topic, and for our medical student or medical doctors, we just want to know that how it is important. So I'm just touching the important lines. However, it's a vast subject and very accurately gives the age. Now the causes. Occasional darker striae result from systemic disturbances in human body. That how these striations they appear darker, or the change in the striation, they any systemic disturbance in the human body will make them darker. For example, a fever. Fever can cause some lines to appear darker than those which are present surrounding them. Then normally ameloblasts involve a period of enamel matrix formation, and then there is a rest period. So there are two stages. Ameloblasts, they form the enamel matrix and then they take the rest. Then they form the matrix and again take rest. So this period varies. And in case of any disturbance, the rest periods they are prolonged and occur closer to one another. They are prolonged and they occur closer to each other. And consequently, the lines appear broader and much more prominent, often presenting a brownish color under the microscope. So this is the reason how they change their darkness and how they appear under the microscope. Then something about the neonatal line. The neonatal line is the darkest band which represents the disrupted enamel formation due to the stress of being born. So there is a stress on the body, on the general circulation, general systems. So that's why it appears darker. There is change in the oxygen saturation level. There is various other systemic changes which make this neonatal line the darkest band. And it is also said to occur due to periodic bending of the enamel rods. The enamel rods, they bend, and the formation of these lines result from a constriction of Tome's process. This is a process. Detail I don't know. You can search on the Google, but this is a definitive process. And when the activity of ameloblasts, the cells only present in laying down enamel, is narrowed in conjunction with an increasing process of inter-rod enamel development. So this is the activity, that there is narrow conjunction with an process of inter-rod enamel development. As this method consists of counting the incremental lines from the time of birth, that is from the neonatal birth line. So this is the most accurate method of age estimation from teeth. Thank you very much. This was all about Boyde's method.